All right, let's jump right in. Have you ever been curious about the world of crypto, NFTs, the whole blockchain thing? Well, to get in, to explore any of it, you need one thing. Think of it like a passport. And in this new digital universe, your passport is what we call a crypto wallet.
But hold on, before we get too deep, let me ask you something. When you buy some crypto, where does it, go? Where is it actually stored? Just take a second and think about it.
Okay, you ready for this? The answer is probably not what you think. In fact, it's not in your wallet. Yeah, I know. This is maybe the biggest misconception in all of crypto, and we're gonna bust it wide open right now. The name wallet is, honestly, it's pretty misleading. So that image you have in your head of a leather wallet, just toss it out.
So, what we're going to do is build a new way of thinking about this. A much better one. Instead of a wallet that holds stuff, I want you to start thinking of it as your own personal digital keychain. Okay, so here's the absolute key. Your crypto, your coins, your tokens, they don't go anywhere. They always live on the blockchain itself. They never leave. The crypto wallet, it's just a tool, like an app on your phone, and its only job is to hold the keys that prove you're the one who owns those assets. It's not the vault, it's the proof you have the keys to the vault.
Yeah, a much better way to think about it is like this. It's your personal remote control for the blockchain. It lets you interact with everything. And if you've heard of apps like MetaMask or Trust Wallet or Phantom, well, that's exactly what they are. They are the remote controls, the software that holds your keys and lets you do stuff with your assets.
All right, so if the wallet is a keychain, that brings us to the most important part of this whole thing, the keys. Seriously, if you learn one thing today, let it be this. Understanding these two keys is everything when it comes to keeping your stuff safe.
And the best way to get it is with an analogy we all understand. Email. Think of your public key like your email address. You can give it to anyone, right? You want people to have it so they can send you stuff, no problem. But your private key, now that is your email password. You would never, ever share that because it gives someone total control.
And look, I have to be absolutely crystal clear on this point. If you give someone your private key, even by accident, they have complete control of your assets, and it is irreversible. There's no forgot my password button, there's no customer support line to call, it's just gone, forever. This is serious stuff.
This is exactly what people in the crypto world mean when they say that famous phrase, not your keys, not your crypto. It's as simple as it sounds. If you aren't the only one who controls that private key, then you don't really own your crypto. Someone else does.
Okay, so that raises a pretty big question, right? A private key is this crazy long string of numbers and letters. Impossible to memorize. But it's also the most important thing you have. So, how on earth do you back it up? Well, that's where the master backup plan comes into play.
The first time you set up a new wallet, it's going to give you something called a seed phrase, or sometimes a recovery phrase. It's just a list of 12 or maybe 24 totally random words. But this simple list of words, it is the ultimate master key. It's the one thing that can bring your entire wallet back to life, regenerate your private key if your phone gets lost or your computer dies.
So how do you keep this master key safe? It's actually really simple, but you have to be disciplined. The moment the wallet gives you those words, you write them down with a pen on a physical piece of paper. Then you take that paper and you store it somewhere safe and completely offline. I'm serious. Don't take a screenshot. Don't email it to yourself. Don't save it in a text file. It has to be offline where hackers can't possibly get to it.
Okay, so we've got the keychain, we've got the all-important keys. So what are we actually unlocking here? What's inside? To explain this, let's use another fun analogy. Let's pretend we're going to an amusement park.
So, in this park, you've got two main things. First, you have coins. Think of things like Ether or Bitcoin. This is the park's official money. You need it to pay for all the rides, which in our world are the transaction fees on the blockchain. But then, you also have tokens. These are more like the special tickets you get for the arcade games inside the park. They work inside the park, but they're for specific games, or in our case, specific apps.
And these arcade tickets come in two main flavors. You've got fungible tokens. Fungible just means they're interchangeable. One is the same as another, just like $1 bill is the same as any other dollar bill. But then you have non-fungible tokens, NFTs. These are the opposite. Every single one is totally unique, like a rare collectible or a one-of-a-kind painting.
Whew! Okay, we've covered a ton of ground here, right? We went from keychains to secret passwords to amusement parks. So let's bring it all together and boil it down to the golden rules, the stuff you absolutely have to remember.
Just 4 simple things. Number 1, your wallet is a keychain, not a money bag. 2, your public key is for receiving stuff. It's safe to share. 3, your private key is for controlling stuff. Keep it secret, keep it safe. And finally, number 4, those keys give you control over all sorts of different assets, from the blockchain's main coins to all the different tokens that run on it.
And really, that's the core of it. You now get the biggest, most fundamental ideas behind how crypto works. You understand security, you understand ownership, you basically have your passport to this whole new digital world. So the only question left is, where are you going to go first?